and the concerns that he raised during the NBA conference. And at the 5 o'clock hour, we'll jet throttle with Mr. President as he went from Japan stopover in Los Angeles, touching base in Brazil. I wonder where else to be off to before he returned back to the country. So looking at all of this foreign trip, what does it really do for Nigeria? Is it what every nickel and aviation fuel that is burned going on all of this trip or not? We'll be talking about it. And honestly, you have to put out your critical cap as you have this conversation also beyond the, outright criticism of you travel a lot. Besides, guess what? Between 1999, he's not even the most traveled president. He's like number 3 of our president in terms of travel log. Guess who's number 1 most traveled president? But you know what? Tinubu is just 2 years in. By the time he gets to 3 years, 4 years, he might break this record the way the man is moving. Like a rolling stone, man.
Who is number 1?
Guess.
Jonathan did a number of traveling.
Jonathan is not number 1. Olusegun Obasanjo.
Oh.
But you know what? Tinubu is not done with his tenure yet. So we're looking at the cumulative of 8 years.
Oh, okay.
And Tinubu is number 3. There's Olusegun, there's Buhari, and there's Tinubu. So with the way he's going, who knows what record he'll be breaking by the time he's done with the 4 years. Oh well, we'll take a look at these stories and more. So please stay with us from now to finish. And I tell you to be what every second. And we hope that you join the conversation also. So welcome to the Big 3, where we get started looking at some of the big stories in the country. And it's no longer breaking news that Atiku Abubakar has thrown his hat in the ring. Maybe not maybe unofficially just yet. But given the fact that a gentleman didn't do the great job of representing him or speaking his mind, the former president thought to do justice to that himself by saying, hold up, I will run for president in 2027 because it's not about my political ambition or interest. Because of you guys, I need to save Nigeria from ICU. You know what ICU mean? I mean, you guys like literally taking oxygen right now, like not breathing it in. You need a tank for it. Your intensive care unit at this point in time. That's what he says from Dubai, where he's chilling at the moment.
You just had to add that last part.
Where is he at the moment? He sent his reply from Dubai.
You shouldn't have added it.
It's okay then. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says he will run for president in the 2027 general election. On Saturday, Olateju, a professor at the Achievers University in Ondo, said Atiku Abubakar was not desperate to become Nigeria's president in 2027. Olateju represented Tinubu, Abubakar, at a ceremony to welcome defectors from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and Labour Party, LP, into the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Lagos. That Atiku's plan, he said, is to build a better Nigeria. It's not about him being president. It's about having a good government that can deliver for Nigerians. It's not a personal thing for him, and that's why some of us are with him. It's not about Atiku having to be president at all costs. I wonder why he needed to reiterate that. You know, when I first heard that, I thought Atiku must have sent him as a forebearer to say, let the people know that I'm not desperate about this, because he kept re-emphasizing it. However, it didn't sit well with the presidential hopeful. In a telephone interview with Tunde Olusunle, who was a special advisor on media and publicity to Atiku during the 2023 presidential election, the ex-vice president, who is currently in the United Arab Emirates, disowned Olateju's comment. I did not issue that statement. When people standing for me at event, we preview my thoughts on the instant subject and what my contribution or intervention will be. So we are on the same page when that happened. In this particular instant, there was no engagement with me to distill my thought. Professor Olateju was not speaking for me. And he said, I will run in 2027. Nigeria needs to be decisively rescued from the intensive care unit it's been consigned to. The degeneration in our country, the level of poverty and pain, the anguish is unacceptable. The accompanying deceit, the loss of value, the mega scale, all impeded thievery, the absolute lack of accountability must disturb every concerned patriot. I will be offering myself to lead the reclamation and reconstruction of our traumatized homeland.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King wouldn't have put out a better speech than this. All he needed to say was, "I have a dream."
I have a dream. He does have a dream.
Oh, but of course.
Of being the president of the country. And Kim, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing bad about a man being ambitious. If anything, I
like that. Motivational speakers will say, you know what? Never give up on your dream. He's well within his right to aspire.
As a matter of fact, I like the fact that there seems to be a clarity of purpose on his part. He knows what he wants. So just in case you're getting it wrong, you're getting it twisted, he's made it emphatically clear. I want to run. I'm going to run for presidency again. And perhaps, he has precedence. There's someone who is going ahead of him who tried and tried and tried again and eventually got there. So that might be a booster of morale for him that, maybe I'll try again and perhaps I'll get there. But I'm very sure that he's aware of because he spoke about why Professor Lateju kept on saying that he's not desperate at all, because many people do think that he is desperate. I'm sure he's aware of that. But at the end of the day, it is about who are those that determine who becomes president. Is it machinery? Is it mercenaries that are going to be put in place, or the people? So if the people are going to vote for the man, fine and good. But I mean, I believe, Kim, that at the end of the day, the people know who they want. We just hope that it is what the people want that gets into the power.
Well, it's a democracy, so it's majority at this point in time. Majority of people decide that Atiku is the man for the job, saying all the sweet words he's used. Who knows? But he's well within his right, his constitutional right to want to try to be president. And you're looking at the fact that he's also migrated to the ADC, and the party is well accepting of him. The party has said that they're going to conduct a fair primary to decide who would be their presidential flag bearer, and hopefully all the other flag bearer at the lower levels at this point in time. Peter Obi is 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the ADC because it's pretty much in the Labour Party and aligning with the ADC. So it'd be interesting to see, because beyond saying, I would run for office in 2027, if he can surmount that hurdle of getting the ticket from the ADC at the end of the day, because you never can tell what would happen. But Atiku, he's got the money, he's got the political knowledge, he's got the connect and all of that. And I want to believe he's done his homework well before he left the PDP to get to the ADC. Perhaps there'll be a number of assurances from that front that you just might get the opportunity to do, to live out your dream if you join the ADC. So we'll get to see what it means for his political dream with the ADC, and if Nigerians would, rally around him at the end of the day. At least one time he got massive support enough for particularly the 2019, was it 2019 election? Yeah, not
2019.
2019 election, where a lot of people felt that a lot of the numbers didn't add up favorable for him, even though Nigerians thought he was going to win under the PDP at that point. There were quite a number of there were quite a number of states where the numbers were all jumbled up, and you just felt like, guys took this thing away from this man. But they went to court, high up onto the Supreme Court, trying to challenge it, talked about the server and the back end of the server. Nigerians were waiting with bated breath, thinking something big was going to come out of it. But at the end of the day, very typical. It was more of the charade that we saw than the substance of what happened at the back end of the server. Because as much as he's looking for, the right to get certain things off of the server, I bet the people who were announced as the winner would ensure that everything stay closed at the back end of it. Because nobody's sleeping while you're trying to prove that you won. Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes politically.
The question I have for him or anyone who might want to answer is how sure is he that he would get the ticket on the platform of the ADC? Because there are many people there who are quite
I
ambitious.
can almost confidently say he can get it if he really wants it. It's easier for him to get it than for people to get it.
Looking at the number of persons that gathered in that coalition at the moment, did they all gather to give Atiku the tickets?
Well, I think they'll find a neutral, healthy ground to exercise setting, right. And if you notice there's a lot of political conversation happening at the cover of dark. You think people go to sleep when you go to sleep? They're having all kinds of meetings and all kinds of conversation and trying to align. See, can you come and be my vice? And let's see how. And then for every news that trickles out into the media, I tell you there's some degree of substance to it. It's just testing the waters. Put it out there. Let's see if people accept it. Do they like the idea? And then recalibrate at the end of the day. So they've put out tons of it for Nigerians to chew on. Do you like the idea of an Atiku and a Peter Obi? No?
Will a Peter Obi?
There's a lot of, no, Peter Obi, no, and all of that going on. But those are the kind of conversation and meetings that perhaps is happening behind the scene and trying to see what's best. I mean, already, people are talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima. Now, the body language of Tinubu hasn't given off that vibe to saying, I'm not going to run with Shettima come 2027.
Yeah.
But already, those who read political handwritings on the wall are already speculating that the president might not want to go with Shettima in 2027. And you already get the Middle Belt APC group forum saying, if you do not go with Shettima in 2027, you'll lose critical Muslim votes. And I'm like, is this a distraction? Or what exactly? Why are you bringing it and why using that very demographic, like demography to saying, Muslim vote, trying to sell us the Muslim ticket? It's not going to fly in 2027, hopefully, because you should know better than that. But then you start to wonder, where is it coming from? What's giving up that vibe? But people, they read and decipher political dog whistles.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is this. I mean, as a broadcaster, I'm trying to refrain from permutations because they can be highly speculative, and anything can
happen. The thing that happens until they finally blow the whistle is based on that politically in the country.
Yes, you're correct.
I mean, we had the last election where last minute during the primaries you had Ahmed Lawan wanting to run for president and leaving his place. What exactly is that chaotic situation?
We all know that was a joke of a scenario, but here is it. I'm just thinking about the ADC. A lot has been said about the coalition. A lot has been said about the number of persons and the personalities gathered in the coalition. And I'm looking, did those people, because that's the question I've been asking, because some people have said this coalition will not fly. This coalition will scatter. And they say that on the basis of many of the people there are quite ambitious. They're looking at, you take into consideration the zoning system, the age of the persons involved, and you look at all these people, are they really going to assemble and give the ticket to another person, Atiku in this case, and say, go for 4 years, and, we might want to think that it is 8 years. Are they really going to do that? Is the question I'm asking. Because now, this statement is quite an audacious one. I will run in 2027. Not I will get the primary ticket on the platform of the ADC. I will run. Meaning, he's sure for the guy. Say, I will get the ticket. Now, if that's the mindset, what is then all that happened with the announcement of the coalition when somebody somewhere is already pretty sure I'm going to get the ticket?
Well, I bet any politician would say the same. You think politicians will come and say, if only the ADC, if only Labour Party, if only. They're definitely going to tell you, this is what I aspire to. I'm going to run there, except they meet a hiccup.
But that is not the language or the body language or the message that was sent that day when the coalition was announced. I mean, I watched the videos. Many other times there were a lot of analysis done. That's not the body language that coalition had that day. They did not say or give an impression that somebody is already confirmed to be given the ticket.
Honestly, I actually do admire him saying it categorically that way. Peter Obi has also said, I am going to run in 2027. Now, he's not told you if he's going to be ADC or Labour Party. Atiku has said, I am going to run in 2027. The reason why we are saying this is because he's already officially in the ADC. because he resigned from the PDP.
Yeah.
So you know it's under that one. Bola Ahmed Tinubu hasn't come out to say it himself, but I mean, you see the billboard, Tompolo, neighbor to neighbor. They've already told you. APC governors have already aligned. They've already told you. We've gotten people like the FCT minister saying, I am going to support this man. He's already told you. Adeleke said it. I mean, we're seeing tons of other governors who are saying, we align with him. Anambra State governor wore a cap to prove his point that this is the man for it. So it's already obvious that Tinubu is in the race. I mean, you're getting a clear picture of the contenders. Now, the bit of the puzzle that is not resolved yet is, where will Peter Obi be? Because Atiku is in the ADC.
Yeah.
Tinubu is in the APC. Who is for the PDP at this point in time? It's left for us to resolve that bit.
Oh, well, I'm sure the PDP are trying to get their acts together. I'm just really concerned. I mean, I'm clearly apolitical, but the ADC, I look at the man, Kim, I look at the man off election cycle, or when we are close to the cycle, when we're close to the election season rather, what underground grassroots politics are you doing apart from playing media opposition? You know, because I look at some politicians, you go on and off, you only come in when it is time for election, you make statements, perhaps you have a very deep pocket, you know you can throw cash around. When some
but in fairness to Atiku, he's been consistent in putting out a statement, in taking out the government. Not an effective opposition in the sense that you see something very strategic coming from them, but very typical average opposition party. That is their modus operandi.
It's lazy.
Nothing extraordinary.
That's lazy.
That's what you say, but apparently it works for them in Nigeria.
We deserve better. We deserve better, because if you're going to be playing all your opposition only, I'm not attacking the man, right? I'm very indifferent. Okay. But if you're going to be playing opposition and you only come up when it is time for election, other times things are happening, you only drop random statements from wherever you are.
What do you want him to do?
Be involved.
Like?
Now, for example,
classic example of involvement.
On the platform of the ADC that is going to run on, what investment has it done in the infrastructure of the political party?
Of the ADC?
Of the ADC.
Well, maybe you ask. I mean, do you know what it means for people to collapse the structure of the APC and take it over? And you think you can just waltz your way in like
well.
Sleeping Beauty and do that?
You know,
didn't you get to maybe Kachuku running from one media house to the other, crying at the top of his lungs? I was not carried along. You think it's... What do you think happened there?
So is that the kind of politics that we're celebrating?
That is kind of politics that works in Nigeria for now. Not the most effective. Let's go on a quick break.
Sadiq, RHAPSODIC.
There you go again.
This is Nigeria Info.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk. Before staying with us, the big three continues. For those who are wondering about a beg to differ debate, well, don't wonder too much, all right? Because we've come to the semi-finals, and they are giving the debaters some time to just rest and prep for the semi-finals, because the subject matter they'll be debating on is a bit more intense, and the criteria will be a lot more higher. So they're giving them time. So the semi-finals will be, I think, Thursday. The two sets of debaters will debate for the semi-finals on Thursday, and then next week would have I think the third place will be Friday, and then we'll do the finals on next week. So we'll keep you posted. If the date changes or the time, we will definitely let you know. All right, let's move on to another story. It's the big three. Now, the Nigerian Labour Congress is just not happy with this thought about, salary hike for political office holders. And one isn't surprised, really, because they're saying you increase workers' salary by, Is it 50%? And what you want to do, like 500% or more for these categories of people, the political office holders? That is just totally unacceptable, they say. And so they've condemned it. NLC isn't the only one condemning it. Serap is, and quite a number of others, saying that the federal government is insensitive, and they're asking on the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission to halt the proposed increase of political office holders. That's what the Nigerian Labour Congress said. The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission to retreat over its plan to upwardly review the remuneration packages of political office holders. The RAF chairman, Mohammed Shehu, how does the word go? RMAFC. Okay. Has recently disclosed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu earns 1.5 million naira monthly, while ministers get less than 1 million, saying the figure has been like that since 2008 and said it is wrong. However, the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, described the move as insensitive, unjust, and inequitable, and will only succeed in deepening the growing inequality between civil servants and political office holders. Ajero demanded that the current earning of all political office holders and the benchmark for the proposed levy be made public. They said they should put this exercise on hold before it triggers a tsunami, the NLC chief said in a statement issued on Sunday, and argued that the development will equally deepen poverty among the generality of Nigerians, majority of whom have not been adjudged to be multidimensionally poor and live miserably poor. So they said the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission should just do a review and should halt it for now, and that it's insensitive to want to review their pay upwards by even the percentage that is being contemplated over what was done in terms of the minimum wage. That minimum wage earner got a 50% increase, and this one is looking like a 800% increase for public office holders at this point in time. So that's the statement they put out. And we've gotten groups like Serap, we've gotten some opposition figures all saying it shouldn't happen. Now, the question is not to review at all, or the percentage is a little too high, or to make it 50%. I don't understand. But if the paycheck has been the same for them since 2008, factoring inflation and all, naturally there should be some review upward, shouldn't they? I mean, why would you want for some and not for the others? I mean, looking at the breakdown. The reason why a lot of people are like, yeah, they pay and all of that is because you know the tons of allowances and benefit come on the side. But it feels like the salary can be better. But do you want it better by 800%, better by 50%, or not at all because you think they're not deserving of it? It might just be unfair to say don't increase their pay at all.
So if our political office holders have done a good job over the years in not giving us the impression that they're cashing out big in these offices. Because, like you said, since 2008, there's been no review. But I think there was one some years ago. Maybe they didn't pull through with it anymore. It would be unfair to them to say that they shouldn't have a review of the salaries. But again, nobody in this country is going to pretend like we do not all know that they make a lot of money. Perhaps illegally, sometimes, but they make a lot of money. So I believe it's in that light that the NLC president is speaking that I don't think anybody is concerned about you guys increasing your money, but there are other things that can be done. There are more things that can be sorted. Now we've had series of strikes, downing of tools in the last couple of months, this year alone. We've had doctors, in fact, as at last week, some doctors in, I think, Jigawa or Katsina, I can't remember now, down tools, NMA. We had Lagos 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had in Jos also. So we've had a number of, there's still the issue of the minimum wage and its implementation, where it is a topsy-turvy approach all over the country. Some states have implemented, some states have not. Some states are not even talking about the increment at all. Some other states, some civil servants are experiencing deductions in their salaries. So when you have all of these things happening, and as Labour Congress is concerned, you would not expect that they'll sit back and say, okay, you know what, go ahead and increase the monies and all of it. When we know for a fact that, you see these allowances that you spoke about, Kim, just mildly like that. One of the things that Ajay spoke about, can these earnings be made public? There are some countries all over the world that we know how much that public office holders in the countries earn. Can these earnings, how much do we earn? We know, for example, we say that, the president earns about 1.5 million naira monthly. But when you think about it, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, all his take home in a month is 1.5 billion. It sounds laughable because we know that when you talk about the monies embezzled, you are hearing 500 billion naira. You get to hear 1.5 something. You know, when you hear this amount of money, then it becomes laughable to think that that is all they take home. So I joined the NLC to also plead with the RMAFC that perhaps you might want to take a second look at this increment. It looks ill-timed. Maybe the question is, when is the perfect timing? I believe that Nigerians are not really people who are asking for too much. I'm sure if Nigerians can see some measure of effort in making the economy much more bearable, because word on the streets, it's not just about what is on paper. It's not just about what sometimes DMO or sometimes NBS is saying. Word on the street is that people are finding it tough. When people are finding it tough to get petrol because they cannot pay for it, food is expensive, and then you say you want to increase the salaries of senators, salaries of commissioners or whatnot. I don't know.
All right, we'll get the thoughts of Nigerians on this. We've heard the position of the NLC, and we've heard that of Serap, and we'll get your perspective also. But just before we open up the phone lines, let's find out what's happening in Benue State, because just a lot seems to be happening. I mean, how do you get the Speaker of the House 1 minute have some people suspended, and 48 hours later he's sending his resignation, and a few hours later one of those suspended becomes the new Speaker? Very intriguing situation there. And we've gotten people like Father Hyacinth, the executive governor of the state, his deputy, saying, we don't know anything about it, we don't know what's going on, it's their business and not ours. And you start to feel like, we don't believe you. But Hyacinth Dajo, Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, resigned from office. Dajo announced his resignation in a letter addressed to the clerk of the Assembly on Sunday. That I write to resign my position as the Speaker, Benue State House of Assembly, effective today, the 24th August 2025. This is done in good faith and in the best interest of the state, the letter reads. I want to appreciate my dear colleagues for the opportunities they gave me to be the first among equals, and I pledge to remain committed to my duties as a legislator and representative of Boko West constituency. Now, sounds okay, huh? But that just resignation comes 48 hours after suspension of 4 members of the Assembly, State Assembly, over an alleged plot to impeach him. Now, he's saying they want to impeach me, you suspend them, and then you resign 48 hours later. The suspended lawmakers are Alfred Berger, I hope that's how it's pronounced, forgive me if it isn't, representing Makodi North, Tena Shimawa of Kian, Cyril Ekong, or is it Ekong? People from Benue bear this surname of Obi, and James Umoru, representing Apa constituency. Reacting to the suspension of the lawmakers, Hyacinth earlier, governor of Benue, distanced himself from the controversy, saying he had no role in the alleged plot to remove Dajo as Speaker. Now, why did Hyacinth Dajo resign 48 hours after suspending some lawmakers for trying so hard to get him impeached? And how did it happen that Alfred Berger has been elected as the new Speaker of the Benue State Assembly, one of those suspended on the allegation of plotting to have this now resigned Speaker impeached or removed? Berger, represent Makodi North constituency, was elected on Sunday during an emergency sitting presided over by Lami. Dan Ladi, the deputy speaker, following Hyacinth Dajo's resignation. It was one of the 4 lawmakers, like I mentioned, suspended by the assembly on Friday over alleged plot to impeach Dajo. Hyacinth earlier, the governor distanced himself from it. And then taking you back a tad, there's been a lot of crisis, but the thing is, it perhaps didn't take that national headline as much as we want to. In February, the Benue Assembly suspended 13 lawmakers for 3 months for allegedly opposing the removal of setting Mr. Morris, the state's chief judge, I beg your pardon, whom they accused of gross misconduct and corruption. The suspended lawmakers were said to have voted for his removal, but later distanced themselves from the decision, citing procedural irregularities. In July, some of the suspended lawmakers were then reinstated, and then it's continued that way in that trajectory up until Sunday, where it mustn't come, I'm not sure it came as a surprise to those within the corridor of the State Assembly, but for a lot of people, like, what exactly is going on in Benue politics? Quite interesting. A lot of time, half the time where we beam our satellite on the insecurity going there, very little on the inside politics of Benue State. But this one is an interesting one enough to get our attention, and the speed at which it happens does tell you most definitely that a lot of people who distance themselves and claim they know nothing about it most definitely know. The Speaker of the Assembly cannot hurriedly resign if there's no more to it. I wonder what they have on him.
I mean, political power play at work. Typical from the political playbook. We've seen this countless times. Sometimes you get to have a strong political personality in the State House of Assembly who is able to have a number of loyalists. Sometimes we've seen members of the State House of Assembly plotting to impeach the governor. I mean, Peter Obi can say one or two things about this. Other times, it is this other way around. So, at the end of the day, Kim, it's the people that matter the most. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, whatever political power play, whatever political power tussle that's going on in the state. Because, like you said, if you've followed Nigerian politics for a very short while, you can see it's pretty clear. Speaker of a House of Assembly doesn't just resign. Especially in the fashion that it is happening.
Indeed.
He tried to suspend some lawmakers. Now he resigns a few days.
Sometimes you just want to be a fly on the wall to get to know
exactly what is happening there. Perhaps we might have some Benue indigents or some persons that have inside gist.
Yeah, there'll still be more on speculation, but let's get to the phone line. 0700 951 0000 or 0809 993 0137. That's our WhatsApp number. You can call via WhatsApp. You can send a voice note, make it 1 minute, or send a message. We're also on X. You can tweet at Nigeria Info ABJ. And your call time should be 1 minute tops.
Hello.
Hello. Mr. Gabriel, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okurora, I greet you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Donatus, from Niger State, for the masses. Okurora, our people do make one parable that say that if I would in the community cook for the community, you understand? The thing is that if Mr. Atiku want to get the ticket for ADC, it will get the ticket. He will get the ticket. And for P2B, yes, I think P2B, any party at all will welcome him. You understand? But the thing is that, how are you going to win the election? 2023 election in this country, the Arab did not float. They all keep quiet. How are you prepared to win the election? Is what you are saying. Not to get the ticket, you understand? How are you prepared to win the election? I think by now, there should be agitation of RF and Electoral Act and the rest of them. But they are keeping quiet. You understand?
All right.
The salary of a president, my sister, you are paying 1.5 million. Let me see, in Alazi, maybe 200 million. But
all right, sir.
Your convoy is more than $1 billion.
Now, shouldn't that be where you should interrogate more? Hello?
Hello, Kim. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Gabriel.
Good afternoon, sir.
Justice of Peace.
Go ahead.
Our president's travels here and there. Well, I don't think just his journey is just for Nigerians. After all, before he became a president, he's been traveling here and there for his personal activities. So, and I'm not expecting anything different from his journey concerning Nigeria, because we saw it in Jonathan's, we saw it in Obasanjo. Buhari did the same. We've not seen anything. It hasn't translated to anything in Nigeria for good. For Atiku coalition, I learned a lot this time. I just discovered that when these people want to fool Nigerians, they form a kind of coalition. Remember when Akere, the late one, of Ondo State, yes, sorry, form a Southern Governors Forum and begin to Southerners. We never knew it was for the presidency of this incumbent government. So we are not expecting anything different from this thing, but Nigerians are getting wiser. It's just that our vote will not count, just as our last caller said. Our vote will not count. So I wouldn't even expect anybody to go and pick any ticket unless you just want to do it for doing sake. Otherwise, it will not count. Not in APC. Right. APC lost election. They know what they did and lost. They know how PDP lost election. They will not make that mistake. Thank you, Kim.
All right, JOP, thank you very much. Let's hear this caller.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Adiola Victor from Bisalaji.
Go on, please.
You see, the politics in Benue State is very interesting. What we is of the federal government and the state government. You see, playing there. We at least under a reference governor father, we should expect a political normalcy in Benue State. But what we are experiencing there is very unfortunate. You see, that shows that politics can turn anybody into another thing. It's very unfortunate. Then as for Atiku, let Atiku try. Atiku has been losing, and I think he will lose again in the next election. So I think he's capitalizing on his dollars and naira again, as he did in 2022. Let him get the ticket. But he will meet the powerful man who is ready to use state power, state capture, and money to beat him hands down. So he should be ready for another defeat. But at that age, I think he should be advised not to go again for the next election, because I don't know how he's going to receive the shock, the defeat, the political waterloo in 2027. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Good day, Kim, the Oracle, De Young. Well done job, and welcome back to the MIC. It's Gabriel Spector, not Dion. The government unintentional to balance up the minimum wage in correlation to political office holders. So disheartening of civil servants to go home with small takes. Zach from Kuchinkau sent that one in. Kim and Gabriel, I can tell you that ADC is built to promote a particular candidate. So people like Obi will be betrayed. A particular candidate who is always contesting will be the one to emerge as the party's candidate. On increment of salary for the public officials, I say no. No. We all know that public office as it is presently structured is to amass wealth, no more, no less. These public officials are not there to serve the public but themselves. And that is why they don't care about what happens to anybody. Oludade Abiodun. In a country where morality is held with high esteem, the decision of the RMAFC to upgrade the salaries of public office holders stem out of conscience, devoid of sheer mindlessness and greed, because nobody forced you to vie for such position as if it's of your own volition. So why going through the back door to seek for an increase? Would this move not cause inflation in the country, as it often taunted when the push for salary increase for civil servant is canvassed? Nimi in Asokoro.
All right. Kate from Lifecamp says, good afternoon, Kimberly. Please, I want to know, these political office holders, do they feed from their salaries or our taxes? If they feed on our taxes, that salary should not be reviewed because they are choking us. So please, they should allow us breathe. All right, that's Kate's. And here is All right. Good afternoon, Kim and Gabriel. I'm Lawmaker from Karimo. First of all, let those who are always asking Dr. Majid where he expects the government to get money to pay subsidy to come and explain to us where the government is going to get money to increase their own salaries. And secondly, for me, Nigeria is not practicing any democracy, because if we citizens don't know something as basic as the salaries of those who are employed to work for us, then no journalist should preach to me that we are in a democratic society. Well, we are in a democratic society. All right. Good afternoon, Kim. Please, when is... Okay. All right. Kim already answered this. Good afternoon, Kim. Why do they have to talk about their salary now? Is it because the Nigeria Info FM used it as a beg to differ topic? Or because our spectacular majesty unjustly did justice to that topic? Okay. Zion from... Zion kidding there. Good afternoon. Anybody urging Atiku to stand for election is not doing him nor the nation any good. Later, you start talking about how did we get here. Buhari was a good example of Atiku. He can't get somebody to replace him, just coming to recoup for his losses over the years. However, the South will finish their 8 years before anything. OGB1 sent in the message. Good afternoon, Mr. Kim and Mr. Gabriel. We are always praying for the best, Hafsat says. All right, Fitzgerald now says, Atiku should go and sit down. He isn't destined to be president. That's quite harsh. His highest political rank is VP. For increments on President and co, why pay for more part-time workers? Fitzgerald. Okay, I don't understand that. But to say that is not the destiny of someone, I mean, this is not about destiny. It's about everybody having the equal right to contest for an office, and he has the right to.
I mean, even if you saw through your crystal ball, you might still be wrong on that. A man has a right if he wants to, but the thing is, the moral, the political right is what you're looking at this point in time, and say it's not his destiny. Well, it just might surprise you. Atiku can't win 2027 election. Obaike Kubana Igede sent that on Facebook, and Stephen Trust Dusu, we see you. Galadima Idris, Atiku should support the Southern candidacy in ADC to allow them Southerner complete their tenure. Bulus John says if Atiku comes out, Tinubu will beat him hands down. Good afternoon, he said. And let's see what we have on our YouTube page. Quick links talking about fairness. It's unfair for teachers, police officers, military personnel to be paid their current salaries. It's also laughable for a president of Nigeria to be recurring salary. What does that mean?
Receiving, I think. Perhaps
why shouldn't he receive?
Perhaps typo.
Why?
Like you're sitting on a very wealthy country, so...
Hafsat Muazu says, good afternoon, Kim and Mr. Gabriel. They are saying that we don't have enough money, but then they have to increase their own paycheck. Quite interesting. All right, let's hear this voice message quickly, and we'll go back to the phone lines.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Charles from Kurudu. I actually think that is a right time. I think it's time to review the salaries of the political office holders, the presidency, the governors, and the commissioners. Now, we agree that the allowances could be quite high and all that. But let them just, from 2008 up to date, we're talking about 17 years, is obsolete. Even if anybody is in that situation, they will like a review. Let it go and let us see how they will react to it. Let us not be looking at what they are collecting here and collecting there. Let them have that increase in salary. Maybe they could take their eyes off a lot of things. But let it go on. I don't think it's a bad situation. I just think they should have it just like others had it in the minimum wage review. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, the Oracle. Good afternoon, Gabriel Spector. On the issue of Atiku saying that he's going to run for the next election, well, it's his choice. He has freedom of, he is at liberty to do whatever he wants to. That's his fundamental right. But I want him to know that if he tries to ensure that this vote is divided and this incumbent party continue ruling, payback time is coming for him. When that thing is going to the north in 2031, Nigeria will pay him back. Nigeria will pay him back. Nigerians will pay him back. If he has refused to be an elder statesman, to support and put his pride aside, just as Tinubu did. Tinubu knows his ambition for 20 years, installing kings. Now, Atiku did not want to install anybody. He just want to ensure that it's him. That man is so self-centered.
All right.
I hope. Mistake again. Thank you.
Okay. Nigeria's trying to run the man's dream down. Hello.
Hello, the Oracle.
Welcome to the show, sir.
I greet Gabriel Spector.
Welcome.
My name is Alasi. Atiku should forget that ambition, no, because Tinubu will beat him black blue, because he's going to cause confusion. He's going to divide the vote, and for that, it will give Tinubu the freeway to come 2027. He should forget his ambition for now. Then come to the issue of Benue State. I don't really know what is wrong with the Benue State Assembly. That is what happened during the time of former governor of Semaraba, Reverend Jolly Nyami. After all this, I was expecting that with this Reverend Father, as earlier, that things will move well for the betterment of the people of Benue. But look at the way things are going. Since the inception of this government of APC in Benue, I don't really know what is going on. Something, the right thing should be done. Protect the life of the Benue and the people. That's all.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. You're next.
Hello.
Hello, Gabriel.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome, sir.
Please, I want to talk about the State House of Assembly.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Hello?
Would love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead.
Hello?
Oh, dear. I feel like the network challenge might be coming from your end. Let's run to WhatsApp then.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Mr. Gideon for the night from Guabola.
Go on, Mr. Gideon.
I read something in the Bible in Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 14 and 15, where Nehemiah was appointed a governor of the Jews. He refused to collect salary. He refused to eat the bread of the governors. He said, because I have the fear of God in me. Seeing the pains and the people we are going to, he sacrificed. Can we have a leaders like that in this country? Nigeria is one of the most religious countries, but we don't have the fear of God. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's see if we have messages sitting on our Twitter handle, because we encourage you to tweet as much as possible. Also, our X handle is at Nigeria Info ABJ, and I can't see any tweet tied to the conversation we're having at the moment. Let's go on a quick break.
I'm so happy. Oh, you mean you're Sadiq?
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 How can you be thinking or talking of pay raise for top political office holders? This is the most insensitive act ever. See how it took them time to approve the 70,000 minimum wage that is enough for just transportation. There's a way they will push Nigerians and would lead to the worst happening to the political class. All right, that's his take there. Deacon Elvis is not happy with his thought of increasing the paychecks of political office holders in the country at the moment. Polycarp Jonathan Tukura says, Atiku running for 2027 election, nothing wrong with that. Honest, a big question is, can he win? And would he get even close to the number he got in 2023? There's 6-point-something million votes. Well, some people think it's going to climb. Depends on how he aligns, who he gets as his deputy, and the political homework he does. If he does get the presidential ticket from the ADC, though. And, well, there's some people who said the number would dip. And a lot of people have said the number for Peter Obi would dip also. But will the 8 million for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu increase in 2027, or would we see a dip also? You know, nobody has the answers to that. You can only speculate until INEC declares and blows the final whistle. All right, let's get to hear this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, boss.
God bless you. I have been calling.
Oh, thank God your call came through. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to douse this tension about increment or whatever have you. In this country, there's a constitution guiding us. If the provision is it that for every worker, 2 years, they promote people. And when you retire, you are going home with joy. There may be 1, 2 bedroom, 3, according to your grade level, is waiting for you wherever you want to retire. Do you think there will be clamor, sticking our neck on legislative allowances? If that's what the law says, then far be it. Let them implement it. If you look good, you feel good to perform. We elected them there. We don't expect them to, somebody was saying since 2008 or whatever. That is absurd. For our legislators, if there is enough provision for this social, any for this country, I don't think average Nigerian will be complaining what the legislators take home.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. We get you. We get your point. If I were to be head
of state, by the time somebody retires, go home, the incentive is there. If you have your mind set that
all right,
you retire,
sir.
Something is waiting for you.
Thank you.
We'll clamoring for it.
Thank you, sir. At the risk of repeating what you've said before, we appreciate your thought. Kamari Ibrahim says, I expect Atiku to understand that if he and Peter Obi are on separate platform going into 2027 election, it makes it easier for Tinubu. Atiku needs to hold on to his ambition for now and support Peter Obi. Kamari Ibrahim's 2 cents there. And I think that is the much we can take. Dorcas is seated already for the news at the top of the hour. Let Nigerians leave Atiku alone. He has the statutory right to contest, but I'm dead sure he's going to fail. Joseph Sam from Airport Road there. Kim, I thought you have something for us from Malema Victor. That is at the 5 o'clock hour. 4 o'clock, I beg your pardon. All right, I did mention that at the start. Let's join Dorcas for the news.
This is Nigeria Info.